Hey, everybody, it's Carlos from Immortals Inc. Podcast. I got Mike on the mic again.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about some of the board game problems we're having. I'm not having. I don't think anybody's having. I think a lot of people are freaking out. Anyway, board games. So we're going to talk about a subject that is the... if you listen to some people or read some things, the collapse of the board game industry.
Oh yeah, I've heard about a few of those.
Yeah, so it has to do with tariffs. It has to do with production in certain countries. I don't know much about board games. I only play a few board games, and I'm starting to play more with Tim. Go through board games, and I did enjoy board games as a kid. As I was younger, and there's a lot of good board games out there right now. And I think what this current situation will show us is what's a good board game and what's not. Just because you have a bunch of pieces and miniatures doesn't mean it's a good board game. I've had people walk in and just want to buy the board game because of the miniatures, which is great. Hey, sell the miniatures. A lot of places have board games where they sell the miniatures separate, which I think is a smart idea, as long as you have a good board game. The example would be that I can think of right now that I can get behind is Final Girl. Final Girl is a good board game. It's a solo play, unless you can just team up or whatever. But it's a solo play board game where it's nothing but cardboard and chits, pieces of plastic. They also produce the miniatures for those board games where you can buy the miniatures separate if you want to. You don't need them, but it's a good game. All right? There's a lot of good games out there right now. There's a lot of good games that are going to come out. But I think what's going to happen is, based on this, only the good board games will survive. Does that make any sense, or am I being mean?
No.
You have to have a good product to sell it, no matter what. The example I'm going to use is Talisman. This is my good copy of second edition Talisman. All right, I'm still looking for a good copy of first edition. I love this board game. This board game is nothing but cardboard and maybe a few plastic stands and the dice. Great board game. You know why? Because it's been printed like 18 times. It's gone through like 4 or 5 different companies to carry it. Because it is such a good board game, people want to play it. I could play this with you, and it goes across different time periods, different people, different generations and stuff like that. It's just a good game. They just came out with a new one that's sitting in my office. I think they do have miniatures to it, like plastic miniatures. But even when this came out with the with the cardboard pieces, they did produce metal ones. There's a whole set, which of course I had. And
were they lead?
No, I think they were pewter. I can't remember though. But I had a complete set of these and sold them because I'm an idiot. But or I needed them, or I thought I needed them. I'll tell you the sad story of why I don't have the complete set of the Talisman anymore one day. But that's a good board game. It makes sense. People enjoy playing it. And like I said,
just seemed easy, right?
It just seemed easy.
Yeah,
it's easy to learn too.
Like
and
you just said, how old were you when you first started playing it?
Oh, Christ. Teens,
So it's just like,
so I have a play copy at home of this version.
What is the premise of it? Is it
basically
Dragon Dungeon Quest?
No, basically you're just running around a board. You're playing against the other players. You're running around to build up your levels, and when you get so high, you can jump up to different tiers. And then the first one to make it to the tower, you can just start attacking the other players, and then they, last man standing kind of game.
So obviously
it's not good. Cooperative, obviously.
Obviously, it's good though if they made a new one that just came out.
Yeah, they just came 5th edition or something like that. Fifth edition.
Same
version.
Premise.
It's the exact same game.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much the exact.
So that's what you mean by if it's good, it's going to stay.
It's good, it's going to stay. And then it doesn't have to be like expensive or anything. It could be simple cardboard. Dragon Magazine and a bunch of other magazines used to come out with board games inside, and it was almost like test games. It would just be on heavier cardboard, and then you have the pieces you cut out and you put it down and you play. That's how most war games are. A lot of war games that are popular, like. The popular war gamers like any of those.
Yeah, what do those guys play over there?
The military history?
Yeah.
Well, that one might be a little more. But there's some like, man, I can't remember the name of it now. It's one of the main World War II strategy games. There's nothing but boards and chits.
Axis and Allies.
Well, Axis and Allies is one, but that's even those little pieces are plastic. They're not fancy.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it too. I forgot the name.
Squad
of it
Leader. Squad Leader's one. I can't remember the other ones. Anyway, somebody put it in there. It's all historical games. Mostly are just boards and chits. The old board games are boards and chits. This game, which I find funny that I want to play again, we should play on a thing, is called
Dead Space Marine.
Dead Space Marine. The Hills Ride Wild. With ghouls, mutants, deep ones, and cultists.
Didn't you talk about this before?
I may have, but it's a frenzied fury of hillbilly horror.
The Hills Rise Wild. I think you did. I think we talked about this before in a video.
But this is nothing but cardboard, paper, and a few plastic pieces and dice. And the plastic pieces are the stands. Actually, they don't even have stands in here. You fold them. So all you need is something good.
Yeah, because Tim said in our last video that like lately these board games are taking hours just to set up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
with Last of Us.
Last of Us was one of the
said
few
it
that
came
wasn't
out
like
all
that.
set up and everything. Sometimes it's too many pieces.
Is that why you think a lot of people are kind of, backing out against board games lately?
They're not against board games. I think they just want a good board game.
Yeah.
Because just make a good board game.
Yeah.
Something that people enjoy to play. They won't care about the pieces.
You guys tell us your favorite board game in the comments. Justify
we'll
it.
Talk about it.
Justify it as best you can.
Because, just make a good board game. Find a board game you like and play it.
And the funny part is it's all subjective.
Yeah.
You might have the worst board game of all time.
Some people like a lot of pieces.
Some people are like, I love that.
Yeah, some people love a lot of pieces of board game. If you like a lot of board game with a lot of pieces, Warhammer.
Yeah. No crap.
But that's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, if you want to say something about it, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Right in the comments. Yeah, join. Right in the comments. But I think board games will be okay. It's just I think they're going to get better. And you're going to just have the best board games to survive.
Yeah.
Well, not in a bad way, but
Well, bring it on.
Or you don't have to have fancy pieces to make a board game. If you have a good idea for a board game, make it. Make it cheap.
Change my mind.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later.